Have you started it yet?
I have. So, good morning, good day, good evening. Whether you are for VRL only, and he doesn't even need an introduction. He introduced himself. Alex Bomberg, fashionably late. Welcome to the stream slash party. We're gonna go for round 11, I believe, in this 14-round championship. I'll just run quickly through the drivers. Happy you're here, fashionably late, but that doesn't matter. We have Marine and Phil in the Mercedes.
No,
we have
not
Toxic.
fashionably late. Not fashionably late. On time, right?
Yeah, alright. I told you to be there like 10 minutes early, but okay. Well, I'll talk about that. We have Toxic Tomato and Kai Altic in the Ferrari. You have Steve in the Red Bull, and we have Felix and Tim in the Renault. Thomas and Dylan in the Haas. We have H-Best in the McLaren, and we have Sam in the Racing Point together with Luke. We have Sam, other Sam in the Alfa Romeo, and then we have Bradster in the Alfa as well. MS Compassion instead of SR Compassion, and then we have R10 Gamer, and then we have Da FIFA and DGG Vapron. So yeah, we're here finally. Looking forward to this one. Of course, the championship is starting to heat up very much. We're getting closer and closer, and less mistakes can be made.
Yeah, of course, with just 3 rounds to go following this one. It's all to play for, and one mistake, as you said, Sam, can really decide the championship.
And I believe the top 5 is only separated by a good couple of points, nothing more, nothing less, and I believe Tim is in place 6 is only 15 points behind, so that just goes to show how close the championship is.
Yeah, the top 5 separated by 5 points. It's Marine leading Sam, Thomas up in P3 impressively, Steve and Felix just behind. So yeah, it is really all to play for, and Tim Tim in 6, just 11 points behind Marine actually. So yeah, that's the difference between first and third, with the first having fastest lap. And anything can happen, really.
Really, yeah, of course. But I like to take back to a bit to last season where we're at this point. The problem was people were winning, but they weren't consistent. Now they're consistent, but they're not really winning. Oh, and it's raining.
We got a bit of wet, a bit of rain.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the for the drivers probably most unlucky circuit to have some rain on. Of course, Singapore very challenging, as you know. You were just doing time trial. With why it's gonna be extra hard for the drivers. So yeah,
if we think back to GPRL Season 5, the finale, we had really weather-affected race, and all the drivers found it quite a challenge. In Marine, actually, current championship leader here for VRL, ended up clinching the championship that time round. I don't think he'll be able to clinch it today. Well, he won't be able to clinch it today.
No, he won't.
But
it's not mathematically possible.
He can make some inroads.
We definitely can.
As you say, it's all very close, and the constructors it's relatively close as well. Renault have quite a solid lead. It's 30 points over Mercedes. Mercedes just 11 points separates them and Sport Pays a Racing Point Formula 1 team. So they're also in with a shout for second. Red Bull and Rocket Williams Racing are also just behind. So it really is all to play for in these last 4 rounds of VRL Season 4.
It is, but I just sorry to just get you off there, but a lot of drivers have mixed tyre strategy. Some drivers are on the wet tyres and some are on the intermediate tyres. I believe most of them have gone for the intermediate tyres, but there are 3 people who've taken a risk with the wet tyres. I believe that's the wrong choice. As 4 people actually. We have Ash, and we have Kai, and we have Compassion and Luke on the inters. So on the wet, sorry, and the rest is on intermediate tyres. It looks
race here, and the race in Singapore back in 2017, where we saw some the first phase, but as the race went on, obviously we're not in the race right now.
No.
But as time more suitable for the conditions, so we might see that. So these wet runners might want to get a lap in relatively soon if they want to get some form of a representative timer.
Yeah, I reckon the problem with this is we know with the game it's I believe it's not even possible to go from intermediate weather conditions to wet weather conditions, like in a qualifying session. That's barely happened, I believe. It's very rare indeed if it does happen, but I believe you can't go from inters to wets in one qualifying session. Oh, of course you can, but weather-wise.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Expecting lap times in these conditions of
look at that
around
Kai.
2 minutes.
Sorry, just cut over there, but Kai has come back into the pits to most likely fit intermediate tyres. So he's already come back on his risky decision. Sorry I cut you off there, but
No, it's fine. I think that's Ash you're focusing on. Kai's actually gone on.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Ash into the pits, but yeah, Kai continuing on his lap. And these weather conditions are probably looking at lap times of around the 2-minute mark. It's the longest lap that we'll see on this calendar. Probably the longest lap you'll ever see on any calendar. Push it between the walls and in these slippery conditions.
Yeah, that's of course you have taking risk and reward. Obviously, I'm a bit more of a fan of risk favors the brave, or what was it? Yeah. Of course, that brings up entertainment. But if you're in a position like Thomas, who's just really he's been there not because of his he's shown some decent pace, but his consistency is really what got him into that P3 position for now. And I believe consistency is the key thing you want to go for now.
Of course, and Thomas is like a real role model for that. You know, he's not been the standout fastest driver throughout the season. What he's done is he's always been there or thereabouts, and he's capitalised on mistakes from, you know, big championship hitters. And I don't think he's actually a million miles off the championship leader.
No, he's not. Of course,
he's in third, isn't he, or something?
Yeah, he is in P3.
Yeah, so he could be an outside chance for the championship if things go his way. And just be really interested to see what happens. Notice Ash, who did come into the pits, has come back out on wet tyres, so again, I'm not sure if he damaged his front wing.
That might have been the problem there, but I generally believe it's intermediate conditions here. But if we're just to take that back to risk and reward. Meanwhile we have Potato Gamer retire from the session.
I think he's gone off for the last corner.
I think he might. We're just on board with Steve. Let's hope he can still. Yeah.
Put it in the wall.
I can't see anything.
I was on board with Vaporeon's Felix goes through the final corner. What looks like happened, I think he's just understeered off out the final corner, put it in the wall.
I think he might do. And we have some quick lap times coming in with the 1:55, sorry, and very close between Felix and Sam now. Oh, look at that top three, very close together. And then we have Thomas with coming in an absolute banger there on his intermediate tyres. So it does look like the way to go here.
And again, we haven't seen a lap time from any of the wet runners. We've got Ash coming through the final sector. He doesn't look confident on them wets at all. No. I don't think he'll be challenging any of the times really. Moran's just put a lap time, nearly 2 seconds off the pace, and he's sliding all over the place. Might be a banker lap. He might have made a mistake.
Yeah, he's going into the pits. Ash has gone into the pits once again, and he'll probably fit the intermediates this time. But as I was saying,
it just didn't look like he had any confidence.
Before Potato Gamer crashed, of course we have the other Thomas who he's 30 points behind, and a risk might be where for him. You know, that might come towards him near the end of the season, as if hasn't really got much to lose. But there's a lot of
Thomas being Thomas.
Yeah, Half Thomas. Yeah, we have two different Thomas, of course. We have Thomas with an H, and we have Thomas with an O.
Yeah, he's currently about get the math skills out. He's 36 points behind in the championship as Dylan's going straight on.
Oh, and Steve's out of the session. Steve has gone on.
Retired.
Steve's gone on, I believe, at that. What's that corner? I believe it's
coming. There's a yellow flag just after the hairpin under the bridge. I'm on board with Moran. He's the closest driver to him. Hopefully we'll get a little sneak peek. I imagine he's just locked up and gone into the wall.
Yeah, I saw Steve standing here. You can see his front wing bits still flying around the track. And that's the end for someone who's still in the championship fight, let's not forget. And with the track drying up quickly, the P3 might not be safe.
and especially at a track like Singapore, very hard to overtake. That's not what he needed right now for his championship fight.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
So Moran's been on a lap. I'm not sure if he's going to be pitting this lap. He's going to continue. He's a long way off the pace. He's 10 seconds or so down this time. Well, 3 seconds. Oh well.
10 seconds, yeah, that's a difference of 7 seconds.
Yeah, small overestimation.
Yeah.
But I think he just went on a cooldown lap because at the start of this lap he was really sliding all over the place. He's obviously got his tyres back down, under control, and he's ready to go again. Rear tyre temperature is a very important thing around a track like Singapore. There's a lot of low-speed corners, so yeah, that traction will be really important, especially in these conditions where you can make tenths of a second from just getting a good exit.
Yeah, of course, but it's going to be interesting to see if it will rain in the actual race. If not, that could be interesting with people going for soft and medium tyres.
Of course. Yeah, if it eases off in the race, or if it goes all the way. You know, we've got 18 drivers with us today. That's a large amount of drivers.
Yeah.
And you know, a track like Singapore is all going to get very compact. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see quite a couple of incidents today. Yeah,
that wouldn't surprise me either, of course. It might be getting a little too optimistic into Fjord Kunis. Oh yeah, that's a very good lap time. Looks like the track is improving. I must say that Renault car looks really good in the wet and night weather conditions.
I agree. I agree.
It looks very slick. And of course, Toxic Tomatoes done a very good lap by setting a P3 time now, as Sam has stopped both Felix and Tomato by going P1.
I think the track's improving. I think the track's getting a lot better. It might be a case of who can get the latest lap in this session. Toxic Tomato, strong lap there, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. But it's gonna be. I don't think the track will be completely dry near the end. I think we won't see any dry weather running. I believe it will stay like this.
Yeah, Moran's just set a lap, just under a second off, point P6.
Oh, look at the Alpha. I believe that who's that? That's Bradster, who's gone off immediately coming out of the pits there, and he's got no front wing. He's on a wet tires as well. What are you doing? That clearly isn't the right strategy call.
Yeah, interesting strategy call there from Brett. I believe he was actually in the running for a podium last time out.
He was
there or thereabouts in Monza, so I think if he wants to get anywhere near that today, he needs to change them tyres because it's not wet weather conditions at all. FIFA's gone out on the wets, though.
Ooh.
Unless that's a glitch on my screen, so...
no, I believe... Oh, we have a... It's on a Renault car to the wall there. There was a Renault car of the team.
Felix.
15... Oh, was it Felix?
I think it was Felix. Yeah, Felix.
Yeah, Felix, definitely Felix. Championship contenders. Both Felix and Tim, very good. Also within a good shot of the constructors as well. Fighting with Mercedes right now.
They've got a good lead. They've got 20-30 points over Mercedes at this point now. So you know, I think the constructors probably, albeit yes, it's still tight, probably the easiest to call. I think that really just shows how tight the driver standings really is. As we mentioned before, 5 drivers within 5 points. Anything can happen.
Yeah, of course. I just getting some interesting quotes from the chat here. I asked if it was gonna rain in the race. Benjamin told me it wasn't gonna rain in the race, so that's gonna be out of the question there. And Steve has told me he crashed because this has been a glitch I've seen over a whole lot of other leagues where you crash, one driver crashes in the wall, and the wall moves a little bit, so the wall's in the middle of the track. And I think that's exactly what happened with Felix as well.
Right.
So,
okay.
I'm not sure if you heard of this glitch. I've seen it in a league I've driven in before, and I've seen it all over Twitter as well. This glitch really is a game changer, and a lot of people just drive into it because they either can't see the wall because it's a blind corner, or they just don't see the wall at all. They just see blank space. And it's really a glitch that should be fixed by Cody's. It shouldn't be too difficult to fix it. So the wall just sticks out, you know what I'm trying to say? It really does sound weird, but I'm not sure if you see it yourself, but the wall just sticks out. Yes, you can see it there with Toxic Tomato. You can see the wall moved a little bit there, and see if it just cut out a little. I think it was there as well, because it was then, at some leaks, it was just fully on track, and you couldn't avoid it. Now it's still avoidable, but it's really sticking out there.
Yeah, I just followed Luke on the lap, and I couldn't see anything. But I'll trust your judgment, Sam.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'll trust Steve as well.
Del FIFA, just on a lap on his wet tyres. He's, well, I was going to say he was 3 tenths up, he's now 7 tenths down.
I believe here the wall is. I believe here the wall has moved. Was it here or no? Was the other place?
I think he was down after the hairpin under the bridge.
Yeah, I think that might have been the one. I just want to show the stream as well clearly. Let's see if we can. Definitely cutting some corners here. That's no problem.
Yeah, I think it's
let's see if we can find it. I'm pretty sure. No, I'll just keep an eye on it. It's definitely something interesting, as it could keep out more drivers here as well, if the wall does move any further.
Got people running back into the pits like a group of nursery kids.
Yeah,
got loads of people in a swarm into the pit lane.
And it's gonna be interesting as well. Who's gonna be coming up where when they want to go out and go for the last run? I believe. I don't think there's gonna be any more running after people get out of the pits. And Thomas still on pole with a good 5 tenths there from Sam.
Provisional pole. Obviously, we've got just under 4 minutes left to go in this session. People coming out now will be on their last laps, so this qualifying session has really flown by. It's really 5 lap old intermediates, and as you mentioned earlier, Sam, if it is starting on in dry conditions, we will the drivers will get a free choice of tyres, so that could spice things up because tyre wear can be quite high around this track.
It can be,
especially with the tyre temperature. Needs a lot of managing.
Yeah, you can see the wall now with Thomas. Oh, you could have just seen it there. You just missed it there. But
maybe it's just on your screen, or
no, it's I'm pretty sure you will be able to see. Let's go on board with Dylan. Just let's go on board with left and take him us for a lap, and I'll say right. when we can find the spot.
I can see. I've got it.
All right, Dylan, take it for a lap, Alex.
He's up by about 2 tenths into this tricky little hairpin. It's really hard to get it turned in, especially in these wet conditions. Back on the power. Traction there's really important. It's short squirt of the throttle. Then we're going left, using all the track on the right up to the wall, accelerating up to the heights of 6th gear before breaking down. Short little nippy into the old Singapore sling before slinging it right and left, going back under the Anderson Bridge where Felipe Massa famously made a sideways overtake. Dylan keeping it a little bit more in a straight line as he brakes for the hairpin. Back on the throttle now. Traction is crucial down here. This is one of the longest straights on the track, and he'll be braking as late as he does, really trying to open it up.
Here, can you see the wall moved?
On the wall, indeed. And big slide there from Dylan as he collects it. That's going to cost him quite a bit of time. This is a tricky little section. Kink left, now we're going right and left into a chicane. The wall actually opens up on the right, so you can use a little bit more track than you're bargaining for there. Under the 2nd bridge now, bump over the curb on the left, back on the power, little bit more curb on the right, using as much exit room as you can on the left there. We're going right and left again. Drivers really like to run it up to the wall here. Dylan leaving a little bit of room. Now we've just got 2 more corners left. Throw it into the left, back on the power.
Pole. Oh no, not pole. It's not pole. It's a very good commentary by you there. It's gonna be P5 for him. Very decent spot for him. But you can see it, right? Yeah, it's just stuck out a little bit there. It can catch you out.
It's not really noticeable unless you really focus on it, which is really going to catch the drivers out as well, because you know when they're at the apex of the corner, they're not looking to that exit wall. They're looking, to the next corner and the next one. Yeah. So if they drift too wide, meanwhile Felix going into pole position, provisional pole.
Oh, that's going to be interesting there, yeah.
So but Kai's out the session. He's gone off at turn 1.
Ooh, that's gonna be the end of his session, as you say. But I'm a bit worried about it as well, because it can stick out. It can stick out even more. It can be fully on the track as well. So I hope the game resets it. So I believe if another driver crashes into it, it might be fully sticking out on track, and you can't avoid it. So I hope it won't be a problem.
Would be proper red flag situation. Tim's going fastest. We currently got a Renault 1-2, which is the first time in a while I've seen that. I've just seen a Haas go straight on off the last corner. I think it was a Haas, I'm not entirely sure.
Thomas is not going to make it for another lap, I believe. He's only got 20 seconds to cross that finish line and go for another lap. I don't think he's going to make it. And he's got a teammate in front of him, but he's not going to make it.
No, there's no way.
No, there's no way you're going to make that. And he's misjusted, and he won't be going out for pole position today, as the flag has been shown to all the drivers, and it's over for Thomas. Can Sam still do anything?
Yeah, Sam is an option with Thomas down in 14th. Williams having a really bad qualifying session so far. Bear in mind, he hasn't set a proper representative lap time, so he went out on these wets. This is a really important lap for Thomas. Remember, he is in with a shot of the championship, so he needs a decent qualifying today.
He does. Let's search to see what Sam is able to do from P4 on the grid. Can he jump Thomas? Or even go to pole? He's on pole position for now. What can Thomas do? Can Thomas do anything about that? I think
Felix has gone into the pits, so he's given up. Tim was about 3/10 up on his lap time as he went through the middle sector. He's going to have to find another 4/10 in the final sector if he's going to be replacing Sam at the top of that list.
Ryan
has just gone P3. Strong lap time from himself. I'm not sure if we got anyone else on laps. I think there's quite a few people. There's a McLaren, a Mercedes, an Alfa Romeo, and a Racing Point coming through the middle sector. Tim, though, is heading up that battle, and the first one to lay down a challenge to send Tomato 13,000th of a second as Tim comes through the final corner. Now, what can he do?
Not pole.
He can't. He improves. Not pole. Close enough, though. Ash has gone P5. Sorry, someone that I know. We had a Mercedes slide through the final corner. I believe that was Phil. He hasn't improved on his lap time.
P11. Can Duffy do anything about his P15? It's gonna be P9 for him. It's not gonna be optimal.
Pouring through the final corner as well. He's gone off. I can't actually see where he got, but he went straight off for the last corner. He didn't improve on P15. That was quite a dramatic finish.
It was, and I'm just going to ask you to reset your mic. Also, I can hear myself double. Meanwhile, I'll run you through the grid. Only 13,000 of a second separating Sam and Tokyo Tomato from P1 and P2. Now we have Tim in P3, Marine in P4, Ash in P5, Felix in P6, Thomas in P7, Luke in P8, Dafifa P9, Bradster P10, Dylan P11, Phil P12, Mass Compassion P13, Steve P14, DGG Vapron P15, Kai in P16, Sam in P17. No time for Potato Gamer as he's out of the session and wasn't able to set a time. We move to the race then. A dry race, no fiddling around with weather conditions on this particular session. It'll be interesting to see. A few title candidates a little bit lower down than they would like to be. Definitely one of the drivers will be Steve, as he crashed out in the qualifying session with that sticking wall there. He's gonna have to make a comeback race, and it's gonna be interesting to see what he will be able to do. He has been a driver that can fight his way from the back to P1, as he's proven before in Austria and in Baku as well. So can we see a little bit more of that Steve magic from him today? As we just also wait on Alex as he's trying to fix his mic. Let's just move over to the chat as we have the calm before the storm, you could say. Stream's looking good. Any predictions? Any questions? Any?
Right, hello.
Alright, there you are again. As you can see, dry race. And oh, Sam has immediately gone for the hard compound there. No soft runners. No soft runners.
Wow. That is something that quite surprises me. The hard is the
terrible tire.
Well, yeah, it is, but it's the longer tire. It's the tire that's going to provide the wrap off the line.
Yeah, they are.
The mediums aren't great, but it's a lot better.
It is, and but you know, it's gonna be in the chat. They said no one's gonna be using the hards. People like Philip and Dylan both said they won't be using the hards. Well, look what they're on that right now. Phil on the hards, Dylan on the hards. That has changed.
The Mercedes going for a bit of a contra split strategy between their drivers. Marine starting on the medium tyre, Phil starting on the hard tyre.
It's gonna be very interesting. I believe with the safety car, early safety car would definitely come nicely into the hands of the medium runners here. A late safety car.
There is a
100% chance.
100% chance of a safety car. There's been a safety car every year. F1 have gone to Singapore.
I know. High chance.
Sure it's the same here at VRL.
We've never raced it, so.
I didn't think so. That is my inexperience coming into play.
No problem.
My first season here with you. It's been a great season so far. I've got round 11 of 14. I believe this is Sam's first pole position of the season. Toxic Tomato having what I believe is a very impressive qualifying session. We've got the top 3 all on hard tyres. The one I'm going to be looking at is Marine in P4, but on the medium tyres. How much of a difference will they make off the line?
Yeah, I think most of the drivers have put their hopes on a early or late safety car. I think the hard runners would love a late safety car in the race. It will all be decided as we wait on 5 red lights to release 18 drivers around Singapore here. They go out and away we go around Singapore, and it seems that Marine has got the better of Tim here coming up to the first corner, and so has Tomato. Sam has to go wide a little bit there, but he does keep his nose on the outside. There won't be any room to overtake there, and he has to settle for P2, and Tomato's in the lead, and Marine has taken P3 off Tim. And Felix now looking to make a move on his teammate.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit further down, everyone keeping it relatively clean as we go down the Raffles Boulevard now.
That's a Williams car spinning around, and who's that? It's that championship contender, FIFA. It is, he's still in the race,
collected Brett.
Unlike Brett, and it's a safety car. It's a safety car, and that could change things. 30 laps on hard compound, what do you reckon?
It's going to be very hard for any of the drivers to do that. If they do it, fair play. I can't see it happening though, if I'm honest. First lap safety car, predicted. I didn't really see what happened, but I believe Brett got turned around and Darthifa was almost left with nowhere to go and ploughed into the back of him, taking both himself and Brett out of the race. Darthifa is actually still in the race, and he seems to have somewhat an intact front wing considering facing backwards. What
start. Well, you want to talk about the start, of course. The position's relatively stable.
Of course, most importantly.
No point separating those two.
Of course. For Toxic Tomato, just got a good start, had enough of his car down the inside of turn number 1 for Sam to give him the respect in the room, and obviously with the inside lines beneficial, gave him a bit of a squeeze, but nothing.
Look at that, Phil's gotta go on to the mediums together with Sam. Sorry, I cut you off there, go on.
It's fine. But yeah, good start from Tomato, and he's taken the lead. Got a lot of drivers into the pits.
Front wing change for Phil.
Yeah, so he must have been caught up in that incident.
Sam as well, front wing change for as well. Ooh. Now, Darfifa's gone into the hards. He started on the mediums and now has gone on to the hard compound of tyres. Phil was on the mediums, I believe.
I didn't die. Considering he was actually involved in the initial incident.
Changing nothing too much, nothing too crazy happening besides that one incident. They've kept it relatively clean.
I'm quite surprised.
Yeah,
quite
I mean,
surprised at how little went on.
it can be a bit of a mess sometimes around the circuit.
I was expecting at least 3 cars upside down, but clearly not.
We won't get that kind of action today.
Well, you know, we got 31 laps around the Singapore street circuit.
Might be, yeah.
Anything can happen.
No spoilers.
No spoilers, yes. Because we definitely know the outcome.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, yeah, spoilers. You get a front wing, etc. You know. It was a very terrible joke by me, you know. Interesting.
Little language barrier.
Yeah.
But in terms of look at constructors-wise, we got Renault's 4th and 5th.
Yeah, they're ahead of Phil, but they're behind P3 Marine.
Yeah, but looking at Phil down in 15th.
Yeah, they will of course gain their lead, keep their lead, I should say.
Yeah, of course, and I think that's the battle there, or Mercedes. I think they are also focusing on, I believe, is it Ferrari, who's just behind them. I need to update myself on the championship.
You're not wrong. Yeah, Racing Point, mostly carried by Sam here, of course. Not because Luke hasn't got the pace, he just hasn't got the luck he needed to really be in the championship fight.
Of course, won in Baku. He could have won in Austria. He could have picked at least 2 wins by now.
He just wasn't to be, really. Luck and sometimes, of course, some drivers do say you can arrange your own luck, but I mean, most of the time those are the lucky drivers. And I'm pretty sure I can hear myself double again, Alex. As we wait on
yeah, I'm sorry about that. Sometimes it just happens.
Stream quality isn't looking too great, but it will do.
We should be getting the safety car in this lap.
Yeah. Yeah, we should. It's been 3 laps on the safety car conditions. We have Toxic Tomato leading the pack from Sam and Marine. Safety car in this lap.
As expected.
I'm pretty sure there can't be any longer safety cars than like 3 laps.
I think we should get to drive the safety car.
Imagine.
Could you imagine that? Me and you, safety car cam.
Yeah. My second name
Cody,
is Bird
I did it for F1 2020.
Yeah. Oh man, that would actually be jokes.
It would be a nightmare because it would definitely been it like 12 times. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And so he's leading the pack from Seb and Marine. He can wait up until the finish line. Before that, he doesn't have to go. And I believe he's gone right now, and that's put him into a nice position as it's created the gap to Sam and Marine there. And Marine's on attack from both Renault drivers. Nearly 3 wide coming into turn 1. Thomas doesn't make it 3 wide though. Fiddlers puts his nose off his teammate in his teammate, and he's been overtaken by Thomas around the outside as he tried to line up a move on his teammate.
Looks like a little bit further back there's contact. I think Dylan has lost more front wing. Yes, for the 2nd time today he's got a damaged front wing, and I'm not sure if he's going to have to pit again, but that's really going to hound him.
He's weaving a bit here, I must say. And so you see Sam tries to go down the inside there, and Sam also has damage. Good, they've come together. They've come together now at least, and there might be some bad blood between VRT teammates here.
Yeah, of course. I think Sam just letting Dylan go, but nevertheless, that's not great. Back up at the front, the top 4 staying the same. Felix has dropped back a couple of places. He got very close with his teammate into turn number 1, showing the respect for one another though. and Thomas moved up. He is on the medium tyres, so them guys will have much better warm-up in these first few laps than the hard tyre runners. So definitely look out for people like Moraine and Thomas now, who's coming onto the back of Tim Wentink.
He is, and as so just saying, Felix has lost